Created the pawn. This time we're not done yet. We do need to make a working drawing for it. So a working drawing shows all the measurements just like this. However, to get all the marks, you'll need to get the front, the side, and the top in third angle projection. So remember, for GCSE DT, you must present it in a third angle projection. I'll show you how that looks like, or what that looks like. So we've got the model, and right now I'm in visualization, but what we can do is we can click this here, and I'm going to create a drawing. Nothing seems to be happening, but it's the ShapeR3D is waiting for you to click which body. So I'm just going to click the entire chest piece. I'm going to click next. There are different selections, but what I'm going to do just now, I'm just going to name it on chest piece. We're going to have it landscape, and for us it is ISO A3. Okay, ISO A3, because that's what we go for. And I'm going to go with not 2:1 ratio, but you can't see it's 1:1 ratio, and I'm going to deselect the 4 views because we'll do that ourselves later on. Done. It's quite small, but before we click the add button over here, we're going to change that to third angle. The title block, we can't really change this yet, but we'll keep it as simple. And I'm going to change all of this to 0.1. 0.1. I don't want a comma, I want a period, and the rest should be fine. I feel like that's quite small, so let's go and change that. Maybe not. Is it 2:1? Might be quite. I think this might be a better size. If not, you can get it a bit bigger. That might be too large, but I'll see how we go on. I'm gonna click plus because it's the front. Once I click plus, it gives you all the views. So we want the front, we want the side, and we want the top. That's all I want just now. So I'm gonna click plus. So now I've got these. I can move this, and you can see it. The one on the side always stays at the side, and the one on top always stays directly above. So remember, that's the view from straight above. If we don't know what that looks like, it would be, it would be from straight above like that. So that's the view we're looking at when we're looking at this pawn chess piece from straight above. Perfect. What I'm going to do is I'm going to write a note, and I'm actually going to click, and I'm going to write this is the front, right, this is the side, and on top here I'm going to write top, because that's what it is. And then we're going to have to add dimensions. So how much dimensions, or how many do we need? Enough for someone to make this. Okay, so dimensions, I've got probably the radius for that, probably the radius for this. So once you're happy, just click and click OK. I want the full length. So sometimes when you click something, it doesn't give you anything, or it gives you just a dot. So you need to probably point to point, but line length doesn't say. Dimensions, I'm just gonna click the edge to the edge. Oop, doesn't let me. So probably point to point distance. So this point to this point tells me. And then I probably have this point to this point, tells me. So we're just gonna go ahead. And the good thing about this is we can actually use all the measurements. So just remember, you need all the width and the length, because the side and the front is the same. If you think it's too much, I might actually add some dimensions here. So for example, the height, maybe all the width could be here if it helps, but I might do some of the radius here. That's done. Maybe dimensions, radius, this. Sometimes it's in the body and you might not want that. Of course, you can change it to make it look a bit better. That is fine. And I might just, I like point to point, change these so I can do all the horizontal ones here, maybe a bit further in. I think we also had the line length from the third one, 5, that we were missing. You can always check if you can, if you want. And I think we had this here. So your measurements cannot be inside, it has to be outside. If you think it's quite busy, sometimes you can actually just, instead of doing these, because remember this is not a length, it's actually a diameter. So you might not be able to do these. And instead, diameter of this, like that. Move this up. And diameter on the outside, like that. And sometimes point to point, point to point, it would have pretext of a diameter. You can add that too. Right, so I don't need this one, that's extra. Right? So if I check that, I should have more or less everything. The measurement wasn't 100% the same because I made changes, but that should be more or less there. Oop, I think I've missed that height there. So dimensions, point to point. So this point to this point is 4. All the horizontal ones are done, and all the verticals that I can see are done too. So there, you got the top, the front, the side, and the top measurements done. It has to be laid out in this way. And the last view that I want to put, now I don't want another one the same, so I'm going to select this. I'm just going to do an isometric one right there. There. And I'm going to put a note to say that it's an isometric view. Done. So that should be your piece. As a note, because you're handing this in, do put your name here. Name here. Just so that I know that is yours.